Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Quack podcast. I'm your host, Spidercides, and whether you're joining us for the very first time or you're back for more, thank you so much for tuning in. It means a lot to have you right here, right now. Today, we've got a very special one for you because someone from Sulake agreed to come on the show. Yes, you heard that right. The one, the only, Olsoweir. Before we dive in, I just want to take a moment to say thank you to Olsoweir for taking time out of his busy day to come on the show. It means a lot to me to have this opportunity and to be able to share this experience with all of you watching and listening. Quick disclaimer before we get started. This episode was pre-recorded on June 10th. Second, I haven't received any incentives from Sulake, no credits, Fernie, money, or anything of that nature. And finally, this episode won't be submitted for any content creator bounty, no matter what kind of engagement it receives. All right, with that out of the way, thank you again for watching and listening and for all of the amazing support you show my content. Don't forget to follow me on all of my social media and jump into the Ducky World Discord server so you never miss a moment. Now, let's get started. Enjoy the show. Hey everyone, welcome to the new episode of the Quack Podcast, the original and first Habbo Origins community podcast. And I'm your host, Spidercides, and here with me is a very special guest from Sulake. So none other than Olsoweir. Olsoweir, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hey man, yeah, no, thanks for having me on. So yeah, everyone knows my name's Olsoweir. In real life, it's George. I have worked for Sulake for about a decade now, actually. But yeah, I'm working in social media, doing bits and pieces of community management, and that's for Origins, that's for Habbo, and that's also for our for the other game that we've got, the mobile game that we've got, Hotel Hideaway,
Oh,
which
nice.
I don't think many people play from the Habbo community, but some people do. But yeah, that's quite kind of popular as well. So yeah, that's me.
No, that's awesome. And then thanks again for taking the time out of your busy day to join this community podcast. I think it's going to enlighten the community a little bit just to hear a voice. I know you and I spoke before turning on this recording, but I think it's exciting just to see a different perspective that we don't. I don't remember the last time I heard a staff member's voice. I think the last time I remembered it was like way back in the OG days when there was like more podcasts. I'm from like Habbo.ca, so there was like a from two staff members, Dilius and W. They had like a podcast called D&D Power Hour, and it was exciting, and you get to hear the voice and hear their perspectives on things. But again, thanks again for taking the time. To kick it off here, where did the name Olsoweir come from? Like your username, like was it like is there a story behind it?
No, it's funny actually. I actually I get asked this quite a lot. There's literally no story behind it. I mean, I used to play when I was a kid. Obviously played quite a few games, and I played a game called EverQuest. And I just remember I can't even remember why I wrote. Also, it's just like a random name I wrote into the box when I was creating my first EverQuest character. So yeah, it means nothing. I think often people misspell it by accident as Osloweir, and people think I'm from Norway, but I'm not. I'm from London, from the UK, not Norwegian. But yeah, there's no interesting story behind that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think when it came to your name, I always call you also like when I just like type a
Yeah,
message or reach out, because I'm just like I know I'm gonna spell it one day wrong where it's gonna be like I before the E or and I'm just like okay I gotta spell this right, because I think some people try to say my username and they say like Spidercicles or they say Spidercides and I'm just like oh man this is rough. So I tell everyone just call me Spider, make your life easy. But it is Spidercides for anyone that's wondering, of course. Now, when it comes to you working for Sue, like you mentioned, you work obviously and you help support the community for different games. When did you start with the company?
so it was in May 2015, so it's been just over a decade by now.
Oh
But yeah,
wow.
started working on Habbo. Pretty soon after that, we publicly launched Hotel Hideaway, so I was helping with that. So yeah, it's been a decade, and then yeah, since then we've had Habbo collectibles, we've had Origins, all sorts of other things. But yeah, it's really picked up within the last kind of few years really with Habbo. Like it's becoming a bit more of an interesting game. Origins is also a thing now. But yeah, it's been a decade. It feels like a long time.
Time
I
flies.
time does fly. Time flies when you're having fun.
Mhm.
I love working the game. So yeah, it doesn't feel like a decade to me. It feels a lot less. But yeah, it is a long time, I guess. Most people feels like a lot of people kind of change jobs quite a lot, but I think at Sulake, the turnover, the kind of staff turnover rate is quite low because people just love working on the game, on the games we've got.
Yeah, and I think that's interesting to see. So you came well after the OG days, right? Like when it first started. Did you ever play before? Did you know about it? Like did you just randomly search and go, "Oh, there's a job opening."
Do you know what? I never ever played. I went to school in the UK, obviously, and the games that we all played, those Neopets, those RuneScape, but I never ever heard of Habbo, which just feels mad to me because it was obviously huge
Oh
back
yeah.
in the mid 2000s. But yeah, I'm not an OG player. I never played. Um, but yeah, my wife played it when she was at school. A lot of my mates that I've met since secondary school played it. So yeah, like I said, I can't believe I never heard of it before I started working here. But yeah, the job just came up on LinkedIn actually. I was looking for a new job, was keen to start working in gaming, and yeah, social media coordinator position came up on LinkedIn, and it was obviously it was advertised as a Sulake job, and I didn't have a clue what Sulake was. It wasn't advertised as Habbo. But yeah, that's where it all started for me anyway.
Oh, okay. And so, what was about the job that drew you in? Was it just like the title itself? It's like, okay, I'm going to be dealing with social media, or like, did you learn more about Habbo? Like, did you search it and go, okay, this is interesting. It's a pixelated game. There's furniture. Like, was there something that specifically drew you in that has kept you here, for about a decade now?
So, I mean, originally, obviously, the what drew me in was the fact that I'd be working with social media. And then, yeah, knowing that it was a game obviously makes it far more interesting. I've always been massively into games, still am. But yeah, as I went through like the interview process, you obviously research these things. You find out what you're going to be doing. The sorts of content that you're going to be creating and working with. And yeah, like what struck me, and this is a good thing by the way, but what really struck me from the social media content at the time was just like, or not just the social media content, but what the game was like. It was just really weird, like kind of like really really strange, different game. I think at the time they were advertising like a Candyland campaign or something.
Oh
Well,
yeah, 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 yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
and they had this like conveyor belt, this machine that basically produced unicorn poo or something. It was just like it was just so off the wall. And then yeah, I obviously went onto YouTube um, and looked for Habbo videos, and then you've got all the kind of the user made videos that were coming up, and they were all like super weird as well. And yeah, like that was what really struck me. And yeah, I kind of like kind of off the wall stuff. This the stuff that kind of stands out. And yeah, that really appealed to me. Even before I'd started, it was like, whoa, this is kind of quite a different, charming little game. So yeah,
Yeah, it's like
that,
it's really community driven. Like even I like started searching like old like Habbo videos
yeah,
when I joined Origins last year and it was exciting. You get that nostalgia effect. So I just started searching old videos and you could see all this 480p videos and low quality being recorded from like, the 2010, 2009 and so forth. And I'm just like looking and I'm just like this is wild to me that this game has essentially came back to life, and let's face it, the Origins team is fairly small, right? Like Maccabee is obviously doing a lot of the heavy lifting for the dev side, and the game itself has brought back obviously some old and new players, but even with a small community, I think it's I don't know, it's a weird feeling, and it makes sense though. I feel like COVID, when the pandemic hit, like all of these older things started coming back and becoming popular again. Like Pokemon blew up. The trading card game like got that revitalized with people buying more and being more excited. So I wonder if that has something to do with it, or maybe just people just miss the old stuff because obviously old movies come back, get remastered, and same with games. So I think people just miss the olden days. I think is the safest way to say it.
yeah. I mean, nostalgia is a powerful thing. I think Habbo. Well, you mentioned COVID. During COVID, we had a massive influx of people into the game, and I think that really speaks to how much of a of a broad appeal Habbo has. Particularly back in the day, you had like, everyone was playing it. It was the first game to ever do like, virtual chat rooms basically. And it went way beyond that. The innovation that we've seen over the years, over the decades, has been, significant. But yeah, that early kind of popularity, sets, really kind of did wonders for the brand overall. Even today, people kind of really recognize the brand. But yeah, like your point about nostalgia and gaming, in general, yeah, it's a big thing, and Habbo is perfect for that. It looks retro, it feels retro. The community is full of people who have grown up with the game, who know the game inside out, and just have this like shared love for it, which is what makes the community so special. I think it's a mature community. People are very familiar with it. But yeah, you're talking about other retro games. I don't know if you ever used to play RuneScape, but yeah, that's a big
Hmm.
thing for me personally. I love RuneScape. I don't play anymore, but I still follow it. And yeah, love that IP, love that brand, love that game, and what they're doing now, even with also RuneScape, all that sort of thing. So yeah,
Hmm.
Pokemon as well, Pokemon cards, Digimons,
Yeah.
all these things that were big, Magic cards. It's
I've been watching Beyblade like for the past week, and because
Beyblade.
it's come back now, and
Yeah,
it's been like revitalized. And I literally went to a convention and I saw a live Beyblade tournament, and it just
no.
blew my mind. Where I was just like, okay, why is it back now? And I literally just got hooked. And on YouTube, on the Beyblade page, they actually uploaded all the episodes for like this latest season that just popped up, and I'm just like, is this just another nostalgia effect going on? Like, is everything from a childhood coming back? Like, it is wild. And I think what makes Habbo special is the community itself, right? Because you have tons of different opinions and talented people where everyone is passionate. Because at the end of the day, despite people having their own unique opinion, we all have that overarching goal where we want the game to succeed. We want the game to flourish and be exciting and be different, while also maintaining that childhood memory that we know and love, right? And I think that's just an exciting appeal. And obviously, we have a small community here at Origins, but it is cool that it's like the one game that regularly over the past couple decades now has brought people together from all parts of the world, essentially, right? So
Mm. Yeah,
I
I mean,
I like that.
yeah, I mean, the community is super diverse. Again, we're really lucky to have like a really diverse community. Um, and then yeah, I mean, you mentioned quite a few points there, but I guess Habbo community. I mean, I mentioned that it's kind of like a mature community. I think one thing that really stands out to me, working in social media, is how much our players know about the game. I mean, you've got people
Yeah.
that have played for like 20 years. And yeah, I mean, it's no secret that like, I've mentioned at the start of the podcast or the call that I didn't play when I was a kid. But yeah, the amount we can learn from players. I mean, I talk to players like yourself. We've got a group of players in the Sandbox Discord, that me and my team talk to a fair amount. We've got a community council in collectibles. There are various people that Maccabee and myself talk to in the Origins community, but you can learn so much from these people. They know often when they know way more than me about the game. And yeah, the amount you can learn from them is insane. And you've got all these people that are also kind of building games and activities for us. We wouldn't be able to do that at scale. We don't have the knowledge. And yeah, like it's just the expertise that really kind of, for me, it's a big thing. To be able to kind of talk to and yeah, experience Habbo alongside these people basically. Um, it's a real kind of plus point for us to have
Do
people that
you
are so good.
do you ever like log into the game like off work hours and just kind of maybe on a secret account or something and just like experience it from the user side, or do you just see it from the eyes of the community?
But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna admit to going in secretly. Yeah, honestly, I don't do it secretly. If I ever go on, I go on my staff account.
Nice.
Um, and yeah, I have done that in the past. Actually, it's funny. Like one of my like core memories was when I first started. I think it was like November 2015, and I'd been talking to several users. I can't even remember who they were. I mean, I think one was Pulse, but yeah, they basically convinced me to run a Guy Fawkes night in game. I don't know if I mean I think the Guy Fawkes is a thing outside of the UK, but basically it's like fireworks night. Everyone like has a big fireworks display. You've got a bonfire, um, and yeah, I like ran a Guy Fawkes night in game in the evening. Yeah, just in my flat, and it was just kind of quite weird. It's a cool memory because it was just me. I built this little square room, and I spent like 15 minutes just like double clicking fireworks, and there was a badge, and everyone loved it, and it was just like a real core memory for me. But I think actually there's a GIF of it floating around on Giphy somewhere. But
Oh, really? Okay, I'll search for it. Maybe I'll maybe when this video goes live, I'll post a link on the in the
yeah, yeah,
bottom of
yeah,
this description for people to see.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think Origins for Origins, particularly when we launched, yeah, it was like the vibes were insane. I was in there most nights, just kind of going around rooms, seeing who was about. Um, so yeah, sometimes not a huge amount. If I go in, like
Hmm.
it'll be during work hours because I need to. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Is there obviously the Origins game and the modern game is very different, right? In terms of style, in terms of how games are played. Is it surreal seeing what the game used to look like compared to like what it is now with the modern style? Like does that like what's your opinion on both those?
yeah. So it's not necessarily surreal, but it's been a massive eye opener for me because I'd never played it, I'd never even seen it. So when Maccleby brought it back in all its glory, when we were testing, I think the thing for me about Origins is the public rooms. I just think the small size of the avatar, the kind of the mini avatar, and the public rooms themselves are just insane. Like they are so there's just something so on point about those public rooms, and I think all the early items that were released in Habbo, it really kind of appealed to me. I think my favorite was, and I've made no secret about this, but my favorite was the Dirty Duck pub.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, we piggybacked we used it for like a little teaser thing when we launched the game. Obviously, yeah, oh yeah, that's why Dave Maccabee's called Dave. We all became. Sorry, I'm just going to put my screen so it passes then. We all kind of yeah like turned into Dave, and that was because of the Dirty Duck pub.
Oh, okay, so that's why all your images at one point like they were all the same on Discord. I think I saw.
Yeah, yeah, we just it was like a teaser basically.
Nice.
Yeah, the Dirty Duck pub. I just like the art style basically. It is kind of surreal because it's like it was not surreal. You really do feel like you're reliving a moment
Hmm.
basically. And early kind of early internet games were yeah very different. And yeah, and the guy that actually designed a lot of public rooms, the Dirty Duck pub, for example, K Samra, still works with us. So yeah, that was also kind of like a full circle moment really because yeah, he designed it originally. So yeah.
Yeah, and I love the designs of the public rooms. Like I agree with you. There's some favorites out there that I personally enjoy, and I you sometimes just sit in there. And now we have public rooms that have fishing in it, right? And that's been the
Yeah.
new game, the new craze that everyone's enjoying. I
Yeah.
uh, I'm impressed by how many people have like continued to fish for hours every single day. Like it is it's insane because we never had that before.
Yeah, I mean that's a really yeah good point to kind of raise. I think the having this like skill and having things to do, that was never a thing. You're right. There was obviously Battle Ball, Wobble Squabble, but yeah, adding like a full-on skill with levels and a new currency, and meaningful things to kind of use that currency on. Yeah, it's felt like it's really kind of helped the game kind of feel more busy. The public rooms, for example, I mentioned the public rooms previously. They people were kind of much more keen on being in private rooms. but it's brought a bit of life to public rooms, which I think is quite important. If you're a new player, you're logging in, and the rooms have got people in them. They've got people talking in them. There's immediately something to do. So yeah, fishing's been a really really good addition, I think. It's funny because obviously on social media you see lots of people suggesting all sorts of different skills. We've had proposals for wood cutting, cooking. So yeah, and that's just another kind of testament to how good this community is. You've got people that are so passionate and want their ideas heard, and they're posting about it on social media, and they're posting on Discord. They're getting momentum behind it from their mates on Discord. So yeah, it's a really exciting game. Origins is very exciting at the moment for sure, and it feels like we've got quite a lot of momentum. And then yeah, obviously it's our first birthday at the moment, or first anniversary at the moment. So yeah, things feel pretty exciting on Origins for sure.
Yeah, and it's crazy how a year has just flown by. Like it's literally already June. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, it makes no sense because we've had tons of different events, tons of different competition rooms and ideas and different games, and I just can't believe it's already been a year and
Mm.
so much has happened. Like if we compare this month to last June, the game is like completely different. Like it's elevated in so many different ways. We have like quality of life changes. I think that's been huge. Like to be honest with you, we've had new Fernie styles that has never been released before, but it was created just for the game.
Mm.
Yeah, it feels nostalgic like we were mentioning before, but it feels new and fresh. I think is the best way to say it.
Yeah, having the info bus means that we don't do anything. Well, that we don't, the major decisions are handled in the community. So that's been a really good way to kind of keep the game aligning with the kind of the expectations of the community, basically. But yeah, you're right. We've added a huge amount. Like we've added a really huge amount, and what I feel like is even more impressive about that is the fact that this game has a very very old programming language. I can't remember what it's called now. That's really bad of me. But yeah, it's basically Lingo. That's it. Um, Maccleby, I think, has basically kind of worked out how to do that. We've obviously got freelancers that know how to write that code and edit that code. But yeah, it's an extremely impressive achievement to have a game that's so different to what it was a year ago. And yeah, to have what I feel like is a broadly happy community. I think there's been ups and downs, but sentiment, at least to me, feels way way better than it was kind of 6 months ago. And yeah, you're right. The game's changed a lot, and I feel like the stuff that we've added has been good, basically. So
Yeah, and I do like the idea of the info bus because we get to listen from the community to enlighten the people listening that might not know or they maybe want to know. Obviously, with the info bus for something to get approved, like to actually pass with a certain question, you have to reach 70%. Is there a reason why your team chose 70% as that threshold, or was there talks about it being lower or a higher percentage? Like, do you want to touch on that?
so yeah, I think I can't remember the exact discussions that took place, but yeah, we did discuss. Excuse me, I got just getting over a cold. We did discuss various majorities that would need to be achieved. 70%, we landed on 70% because it felt like when we asked, we agreed that when we asked a question, it would be you need to get to a certain level of votes for this to happen. 70% felt like it would be a convincing majority. 50%, for example, I think sometimes, I don't know, like referendums in real life are often 50%, which I guess is a simple majority, but we wanted a much bigger majority for stuff to be approved. So yeah. But yeah, if you ever talk to Mapleby, you can he's the guy, he's the brains behind the whole game. So yeah, he might be able to give you a better um angle on that, so to speak.
No, and I appreciate it, and I agree. Like, I think 70% makes sense because if it's 50-50, then you're not really getting a true perspective of what the community wants. So I personally agree with the 70 myself. Now, in the past year, obviously so many things have happened. Do you have a favorite moment of Origins? Like, is there a specific game or a Fernie release or a competition or something that happened in the past year that you're like, that was an awesome thing to witness here in Origins?
So yeah, I think probably my favorite event, so to speak, would have been the Shamrock event, which was basically centered around the Dirty Duck pub. But I think no one can deny how fun the launch was. The launch was really really fun. For me, working in social media, it was just insanely exciting. We the way that we went out with it, we decided to do a campaign in Habbo that was all about, you know, basically like a rift happening, a rift, basically merging the two time periods of Habbo and Origins, and loads of stuff happening around the hotel to kind of support that storyline. But yeah, like I'll never forget putting up the TikTok that we have made, and it reached 200,000 views within the first like half an hour or something, which was just insane. So that was just crazy, and all the different news outlets and influencers and players that were just really really excited by it. Um, and yeah, it's funny actually. I'll give you a little kind of basically a group of players. I talked about them previously. They actually found what we were doing before we went out with it,
Oh wow.
and yeah, they kept it. They kept it secret, which is yeah, which was I was just basically very very appreciative of that because it really really helped the launch go well. Often when the community finds out stuff before it's supposed to be found out,
It gets leaked.
leaked, and yeah, and that's our fault, right? It's always our fault if stuff gets leaked. It's our fault. It's and we wouldn't expect players to hold it back. It's free game as soon as we leak it. But they didn't in this case, and it really helped the launch. um but yeah, that was insanely exciting. And what was your experience of seeing or of learning that we were releasing this game? Where
Well,
were
funny you say TikTok. I saw the TikTok video and I was like, wait a minute, what is this? And then because I play modern and I played it, and then I noticed afterwards there was like some teases, and then I saw like on one of the in the I think it was in the welcome lounge or one of the public rooms, there was like a little bulletin board like on the screen that like that kind of like teased Origins. And but TikTok was the video, like that was actually the hook. So the video you're mentioning was literally the reason I like saw the game. And coming into it, I saw some old friends, like friends that I used to be close with from 2005. And it's
No
wild,
way.
like yeah, like it was like literally 20 years. And they used I used the same username originally. I ended up changing it from colon latino colon to Spidercides, just because that was my social media, that's my gaming name now. But I ended up using my original name just in case, you never know who you might run into. And then
Yeah.
suddenly, like, I was getting friend requests from like names I recognize from
Insane.
2005, like people who quit the game. And then I was just like, wait, is this you? And they're like,
No.
oh my god, it's so great to see you. That how have you been? And I'm just like, my like we're 20 years older right now. Like this is wild.
That's such a nice story. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that to me is why Habbo's so good. It's the history, and it's the people that have made friendships on the game. I think that's a really special moment. And yeah, it's not often that you hear this sort of thing from the community. But yeah, hearing it from you right now, it's just really nice. That's what makes kind of working on these games worthwhile. It's all about making friends, right? That's what
Yeah.
these games are about, social games. So yeah.
Yeah, it's all about like bonding and like just
Mm.
just hearing back from like my old friends and even making new ones from like nowadays. Like one of my close friends would be like Dovak, other friends would be like Bob Barker, and we have like the Ducky World like
And I-
Discord that we put together with some other great people. Like without the community, we got nothing, right? And without our
mm,
friends, we have nothing either. And it's been great to create new memories along the way. Like I remember so many things 20 years ago. Like I remember so many different types of events,
mm.
and now we get to make new memories and new exciting things. Like so,
Mm.
Looking forward to a new childhood experience, so to speak.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
uh, when it comes to the obviously you mentioned your favorite public room. Do you have a favorite rare? Like, is there a rare release that has come into Origins or Habbo in general, or maybe both, that you're like, yeah, this is my favorite. Like, I love this one.
That's a really difficult one. I mean, I think probably for Habbo, dragon lamps. There's something about dragon lamps. I like the black dragon lamp. Probably is my favorite, but there's something about dragon lamps that it's just such a. I mean, all those early ones, the V7 rares, right, or
Yeah,
all of the early Fenix, they're just so kind of like random. I don't know, like where would you see a dragon lamp? Probably in like a really high end Chinese restaurant or something, right?
true. Yeah,
Um,
true.
or where would you see like the samovar in like an antique shop? They're just they're not they make no sense together yet because of their history. They make a huge amount of sense together. But yeah, dragon lamp will probably be my a black dragon lamp will probably be my favorite Habbo side. And then Origins. I mean, a lot of the iconic items are kind of recycled from Habbo, because that's kind of that's part of the whole Origins vibe.
Yeah.
But I think the Funky Friday items that we've been putting up, particularly the Halloween ones, where we added
Oh
cobwebs or
yeah.
to some of the plants. I thought that really felt like a. I like that. I like. There are a lot of Funky Friday items that I really like. Um, and then yeah, the incoming fishing outfit. I mean, that's a clothing item, I guess. But yeah, I
Oh,
really.
that one's good. Like that one is. I saw the image of it and I was just like, there's no way I'm gonna have to fish so much more to get something else now.
Well, that'll be that. I think I'm pretty sure that's a permanent edition. So yeah, that's a really cool one. Um, but yeah, like, what about you? I mean, what are your like standout? How about
um,
Origins items?
That's a good question because I've played for a while and the OG days for me will always be the best. Like the V7 rares, like
Yeah,
that it's nostalgic. The art style is just so I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like if someone were to ask me why do you like this art style more than modern, I couldn't even answer that for you because just something about those days and seeing the different colors were so cool. And the dragon lamp, for me, if I were to choose like a normal rare, the dragon lamp by far is my favorite, and I would probably go red. I guess it makes sense because my name is Spidercides. I like Spider Man. I guess it makes sense. It goes entwined with each other. But the red dragon lamp would be mine. If I were to choose like super rare, like I'd have to choose the throne. It's too iconic for me, just the way it looks. And then you put those two together, the red dragon lamp with a throne, and you got just I don't know. It's the dopamine levels, just everything starts feeling fueling up, and I just enjoy it so much more.
they're
Um,
banging. Yeah, they're great.
oh,
Like the throne, obviously. Yeah, I don't know. When we did that grotto event, that was another actually a standout moment. That was a really cool idea from Maccabee to do that. But yeah, when the throne was being given out, like the hype levels were just insane, and that was a really
oh
fun
yeah.
moment. But yeah,
I was waking up every 3 hours, being like, okay, it's time to test my luck. Like I didn't get a throne until man, I want to say day 3. Like it was just like you see everyone else get in, and it was like I'm like I'm committed now. Every 3 hours, wake up, do this
yeah,
again, go back in, try it again, and then when it happened, you're like, oh, like finally, like this
yeah.
actually happened, right? So for me, that rare is iconic, and I agree with you. The Funky Friday items have been awesome. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, there's one Funky Friday item that was released that I am so sad that the community, chose to not re-release Funky Friday items anymore. Like they wanted the FOMO in, and I I am so upset with that because I want the Funky Friday doormats to return
Oh, the
and
doormats. Yeah,
I miss out of everything. I don't care about anything else. Every item is great. I'm okay if it's a one-time release, but those doormats, I
yeah.
miss them so much because I thought I'm not lying to you when it got released the first time. We didn't know the FOMO, like we didn't know that it would never get released again, right? Like we assumed that maybe it'll come back one day, right? Maybe it'll just return for a holiday, whatever the case may be. But
Mm,
those doormats were so cool, and then as Funky Friday appeared each week, you got like different colors, different styles, and
mm.
oh man, it's there's been some good ones.
We yeah, the doormat. Funky Friday thing. It is. I mean, like all these things, if you're giving people, you're giving the community a choice, and they voted to not bring back Funky Friday
Hmm.
items.
Yep.
So yeah, that's how it is. The doormats is by far the kind of the most the one that comes up the most as the one that people would like to come back. I think the first one, the first Funky Friday we ever did was
The
a few
Plasto
past.
set.
So yeah, those were the ones that people ask for. But yeah, like yeah, it's that's how it is. It's democracy basically.
Yeah,
So
yeah, 100%. You got to just deal with it and move on.
yeah,
That's why every time something gets released, I hate to say it. I won't even tell my wife this, but I hate to say it. I'll pull out the wallet and be like, okay, I'm just gonna bulk up on a bunch of these, put it into a room, and just in case I ever need it for a room or whatever, I got it. So now, like for the Habbo Fernie, they had the tiles, and I
oh
ended
yeah,
up buying like 250 of every single color. And I was just like, I just want this because I know one of these days I'm going to be so upset that I don't have it and someone's going to
Mm.
be charging so much to trade for one. So you know what? I'm just going to bulk up, get what I need. And yeah, it's been a good
Have
ride so far, I got to admit.
your store. I mean, do you like the building? I mean, when it comes to Funky Friday, we often release kind of like not rare items, but items that could potentially be rares, like we've done the Kona machines. But then, yeah, it does feel like with the mats, for example, and then the tiles that you just mentioned, are you kind of more into the building, the more utilitarian type Funky Friday releases?
Yeah, for sure. Like for me, I personally, to speak for myself, prefer Funky Friday items that can go into builds. I can like what you mentioned, like for Halloween, like during the Halloween
Yeah,
days, we had those plants. Like it just adds a different element to the room, and
yeah,
that's my thing. Or even like the not Funky Friday, but like the Cabin Fernie was such a cool release during like the Pirate month in
yeah,
September, and I'm someone that loves building rooms or just admiring other people's room designs. There's some great room builders out there, and you're just like, wow, like they thought of this. So my personal favorite is, yeah, anything that you can, like, I don't know, just take your rooms to that next level.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, the Funky Friday is an interesting concept. Like it didn't used to be. I think it used to be. So there used to be a giveaway element to Funky Friday back in the day. I think actually one element of Funky Friday back in the day. You can correct me actually, but if I'm wrong, but I think there was a mechanic where you could ring a phone line, and a random person would get 50 credits or something. It was kind of like that was what Funky Friday was. But yeah, we've changed it a bit. And then yeah, almost every Friday we do it. We do a giveaway as well.
Yeah, on the
But yeah,
Twitter, yep, or on
on the,
X. Sorry, on X. I gotta watch.
don't even get me started on that really
Yeah.
dumb. So, yeah, old Elon Musk has just sacrificed a really powerful brand basically. But yeah, we
Yeah,
don't want to get
yeah.
into too much social media
Yeah,
hype.
yeah, we won't go into that topic. Yeah, no, I think what it came to Funky Friday, I think it just like adds a different element, and everyone's excited. Like everyone knows something's gonna release on Friday, right? And we don't know what to
Yeah,
expect, so I think it just takes the elements to just a new height, a new different experience, and yeah, it's been exciting to see, to say the least. Now, from what you've learned or what you've seen, is there any feature or anything in the past that you started learning about that you hope comes into Origins? Or is there something new, like you're like, you know what, this is something I hope comes in the future one day into the game? Like whether it was done before or maybe a new idea.
um so in terms of like features that Origins gets that I've seen in Habbo, I don't know. I guess I wouldn't really want to transplant any Habbo features, and I guess Origins has got quite a few features already.
Hmm.
One thing that I'm really excited to see added, and actually Maccabees shared this on his Twitter/X page, is the kind of the NPC shop. I don't know
Yeah.
if you've seen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that is something that I'm really excited to see make into the game. Um, I mean, I've seen a lot of criticism, not criticism, but comments about Origins becoming another RuneScape, with the addition of fishing and then people suggesting to add cooking, logging, woodcutting, whatever. But I do feel like long term, those adding new skills to the game, like new kind of cozy game skills, right? Nothing, just basically, I don't want to use RuneScape as too much of a comparison, but yeah, kind of easy to do skills, kind of skills that you can, point, click, chat, level up, get currency, spend it on new item. That to me, and then again, all always, well, not always, but mostly centered around public rooms. I feel like that is what, like I said earlier, the fishing has really kind of given a lot to Origins in that sense. I think people are now in public rooms socializing, chatting to each other while also
Yep.
doing something. So yeah, I'd like to see, the NPC shop, and then, long-term new skills. That's what I'd like to see. I've got no idea whether or not McElvey will do that. The proposals for the skills would need to be good. Fishing just worked really, really well, and I'd love to see something else like that in the future for sure.
No, and I think that's a great idea. Like I think having something to quote unquote do in the game rather than just sit in a room or play some like games that communities are creating. You can play a game that's developed, like the built in, kind of like Battle Ball, right? It's something you can jump into and play, or like playing tic tac toe or any of the other games. Like this is just some new element. And I agree with you. It's the one game, I think it's the one game that you can actually chat in compared to all the ones we had. Like you can't chat in, well, you can chat in Battle Ball, but why would you? You would obviously affect your own gameplay.
Mm,
But yeah, in all the other games, you're not really chatting. I
mm,
think I think this is the one that you can actually like just chill out, listen to some music, and just go. You know what? I'm just going to
mm.
catch some fish. So yeah, I think I agree with you. I think having something like that more into the game, whether whatever we get in the future, and then the NPC shop. I saw him post it on X, and I love it. Like I think it's different. Like it adds another element of the game where it could potentially affect the economy, so to speak, but it can be
Yeah,
a little bit exciting just to see like a different perspective of a game that hasn't been on modern. Like I don't remember seeing that ever on a modern side. But I think it can bring a new element to Origins.
yeah. I think you're right. You're right, in that this would affect the economy. I think potentially, if it was done right, I think it could easily affect the economy in a positive way.
Yeah.
But yeah, these things need to be kind of mulled over and kind of thought about in detail before kind of putting them out. But yeah, that's a really exciting feature, for sure. And yeah, and I think other things that might be a good idea long term. We recently added one-way gates. That
Yeah.
was something that we did based on an Infobus poll, but I think that makes it easier for creators like yourself, Dobat, Bob Barker, other people that run events to kind of run good events and manage them more easily. I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
100%.
yeah, I thought so.
Those one-way gates are awesome. Like I literally I hosted a Habbo Survivor series, and then one of the challenges had one-way gates next to rollers, and you had to like basically run through the rollers, run through these gates, and get to the very end, right? And if you fall off, you obviously you lose that round essentially. So I love it. I think it just adds another new element of the game. Personally, if
Mm,
I were to choose like a feature from like back then to come back, it would be groups. If I were to choose anything, it would be Habbo groups. It's
yeah,
still so in modern, everyone has like a group badge, and you can join like the community like in the game itself. I personally would like to see groups invested into Origins because I do remember groups back in the day, like in the younger years, and
yeah,
it's different. It's I don't know. It was exciting to create your own quote unquote your own badge, and then have like a room dedicated to your group. And I think it could add a different element in the game. I don't know if the whole community would enjoy something like that, but based on like what my friends and I like, it seems like something that we wouldn't mind join like pop into the game in the future.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I transparently, I've not heard any discussions take place around groups internally, but yeah, making stuff easier for players to organize their events, activities, organize their friends, and kind of formalize groups of players and have their own badge or identification. Yeah, that makes sense to me on a basic level. But again, yeah, it's it's Maccabee who's driving features forward.
We'll just have to bribe him with black
Yeah,
dragon lamps and red dragon lamps, and for us to get it.
or just
um,
you could just open like 100 DMs with him from different people, and just
Oh yeah,
everyone.
yeah, yeah. Because today someone asked, "Oh, can I DM you, Maccleby?" And then he goes, "Sure."
Oh, I saw that. Yeah,
And
I
then
saw
and
that.
then and then it's just like, yeah, but he's not gonna respond to you. Like he's
But
probably at
it's
like I want him to see like how many messages he has in now after saying sure to somebody.
yeah, 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 yeah. Well,
uh,
yeah. I mean, DMs are open, but yeah, group's not a bad shout at all.
No, no, it's awesome, and the fact that like we're communicating here, and he's obviously communicating in the Discord with different people, and obviously we hear from you in the Discord from time to time as well. Like, it's cool to see a dynamic from basically people who are working on the game and then the community side. Like, you don't really see this that often in different gaming communities where like both can interact so easily within obviously Discord. And back in the day, it could have been forums, right? Like in the olden days, but like now it's a lot easier than ever before.
Yeah, I think something that we do actually get feedback a lot is uh and having staff in the game on a more casual basis, just chatting. And yeah, I think we've definitely got better at that. I know that forms a large part of the appeal for Origins, is having staff accessible in game. But yeah, having these other platforms, Discord, social media platforms these days are just insane. Facebook wasn't even really a thing back when uh, Habbo first launched. It kind of became a bigger thing as the early 2000s went on. But now, Discord is crazy. You can, chat to players about all sorts of things. Sharing kind of images of the game, images of Fernie, getting feedback on that. It makes it a lot easier to communicate with players, having these different social media platforms and tools. But yeah, you're right. It's great having a Discord where we can talk to players. In general, you've got feedback forums, which is the tool is very, very powerful. It's a very, very powerful community management tool. So yeah, and shout out to Proxy and all the people that launched that server, because obviously that wasn't one that we launched. We took it over from
Yeah.
them. Yeah, early on. I think it was in kind of like August maybe. But yeah,
Yeah, I think it was in August. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think when I literally joined 2 days before you guys took over, and I'm like, oh snap! I came right, I came right in time.
yeah, nice.
uh, um, with a few minutes here remaining, another topic I wanted to just bring up is obviously you're handling the creators program, right? And we don't have to go into too much detail on like how everything works and all of these things, but where do you see the creators program going from here? Like, obviously we have a lot of new creators that got added in, like Bubba, for example, as well as Wilf, and some others. Where do you see it grow? Like, or where do you want to see it grow into?
So we're pretty early on in the reworked version anyway. But yeah, I think long term calibrating the milestones is going to be quite important. I'm not sure. We want to make it feel achievable. We don't want people to be struggling to get anywhere in the battle pass. So I think we need to look at that next month. We need to look at, do we bring down the requirements for the bronze, silver, gold? How many people, are people completing 30% of people completing, at least one bounty per month? There's lots of things that we need to look at there. I think another thing that we're probably going to need to do in the medium term, if not the long term, is provide utility for people who have got multiples of the lower level trophies. For example, if you've been in the program for, I don't know, a few months, and you're getting iron every time, and you want the bronze, that might not feel good, because you don't want loads of iron trophies. You want one of each, basically. So I don't think we'd let people craft bronze from iron, or silver from bronze, for example. But we might use Habbo's crafting mechanic to let you craft something that's better than 3 iron trophies, for example. I don't know whether or not that would be a hat or a cape. I don't know. We would probably work with the creator community to understand what they would like us to do there, and that's not confirmed. But yeah, so those are the two kind of things that I can see being added or changed about it in the kind of the medium term. But yeah, what I've really kind of found recently actually is that educating people on how to not hack these platforms algorithm, but on Twitter, for example, or X, I was basically I was just talking to creators casually in the chat about how you can reply to posts with Habbo stuff, and that can sometimes, you can actually sometimes amass quite a few views. And one person, HB Ari, has literally gone away, and then in the first few days of this month's battle pass has got nearly 50,000 views on a post, and they don't even have a premium account. They posted like a Habbo Club reference underneath an influencer post. So yeah, that works. That's great for us. It's great for the player because they get what's quite a hard to obtain trophy. Habbo gets views, so the brand's just in people's feeds as much as possible. So yeah, this educational stuff, I think we can do a lot more of that. Across all sorts of different platforms. I think we focus on Twitter because it's where the current active Habbo community chooses to spend their time. But yeah, platforms like Instagram, particularly now with Reels, but then TikTok as well, Facebook Reels. I mean, Facebook actually is huge for us. Still, we've got millions of followers there, and we get millions of impressions a month there, which is crazy. Facebook's such an old platform. But yeah, basically educating players on how to create better social media content, improving the prizes long term, and yeah, making sure that the goals are not too hard to achieve. Those are the three things that we're focusing on, I think.
Oh, that's great. And being a part of the creator program, it's great to see what it was last year because it's changed. It's completely different year over year, and I think there's been a lot of good improvements. Personally, I think we have more people actually creating the content now compared to a year before. People are motivated, they're driven, and you're right. Like the more posts that people are doing across all of these socials, it just brings more eyes to the game, right, at the end of the day. And I think that's the goal. I think at the end of it, like, are you passionate about the game? Yes. Okay, cool. Let's bring this. Maybe more people will be passionate if they see it, if they see what people are interested in. So
Mm.
I think you're doing a great job. So far everything is looking good, and looking forward to seeing like where it grows from here, essentially, because you can only go up now. Right now everything's looking good, and it's I think we have a lot of great creators a part of the team that do well in different elements, different things. So yeah, it's gonna be
And
exciting.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, just need to build on what we've got already, for sure.
Now with a couple minutes here, in terms of something you would want to tell a new player, like someone that maybe has never played Habbo before, and you obviously never played in the OG days. Is there something you would tell someone right this day about the game? Like, what is that? Like one phrase you'd be like, "Here's what Habbo's about. Join us." Like, is there like something that comes to mind that you would want to tell a new player or someone that's never seen the game before?
I mean, the obvious one is the community is great. But I think one really kind of big thing for Habbo, in particular Habbo, is just how many different items there are, how many different rims there are, how many different clothing items there are. It's an insanely kind of customizable experience. It's kind of like, I mean, our tagline is a bit dated, and I don't think it might not kind of apply, or it might need an update. But a strange place with awesome people, I still think that's quite a good tagline. It is. It's a crazy place, and it's got so many different items, so many different clothing items, loads of different types of people, from all different countries. And I kind of feel like that alone is kind of enough to really encourage people to at least see what Habit is about. Um, it's just got a huge amount of history. It's charming, and I think a lot of it actually, this maybe diverging a bit from the question, but yeah, it's very Finnish. It's a Finnish game, and you can see, particularly in the early kind of content that we put out, it's kind of got this kind of quite quirky Finnish vibe to it. Um, but yeah, I'm not sure I've answered your question that well,
No,
but
no, I
yeah,
think you did. I think it works because you're right. It is a strange place. You're not wrong, to be honest. There's some weird style rooms that you would don't normally see in other games, of course. And I think there's a mix of like the environment that is strange, and then the community itself. Like it's without one, you don't have the other at the end of it, right? And I think that's what it's all about, bringing like some different players that might have maybe seen the game back in the day, maybe saw someone else play, or maybe just never heard about it and are now intrigued by just chatting and just having a good time. Now, to end things off here, do you have any last comments for the community, for everyone in the Discord, for anyone watching or listening? Any last comments from you?
Well, I mean, for the Habbo community, I mean, we're kind of right in the middle of the first anniversary for Origins. There's still a fair amount to come. So yeah, get excited about that. But yeah, the 25th anniversary for Habbo, I'm really excited about this event. I think it's going to be a really, really big one for the community. It's it's going to be big. I think, you know, the 20th anniversary wasn't, well, it was a big thing, but this one is going to be kind of, at least on social media, we're going to try and make it much bigger. So yeah, really excited to kind of get that going in August. Yeah, 25 years old is a grand old age to reach. So yeah,
It is scary how long
really,
it's been, you know what I
yeah.
mean? And at least it makes me feel old, but thankfully I still am pretty young. So, but no, it's going to be exciting to see what August brings to the table, and obviously what the 1 year of Origins brings. Obviously we just got a rare release today. Like, we're recording this on June 10th, so a rare release just happened, and it's very nostalgic. So for anyone listening, it's basically a cola version of the old Mountain Dew machine from way back in the day. So there's no
Yeah,
name on it right now. So hopefully Maccabee thinks of a cool name to place on it. But that's exciting to see. Like, it's gonna be a fun month, you know, just and you know, partying, celebrating, experiencing different elements to the game, like these new rares, and who knows what else is going to get released this month.
yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, that rare is. I need to go and post in Discord and Twitter about that. But yeah.
Yeah, I will definitely blast it out, and I'll have to put it on X and everywhere just to get more eyes on it. But yeah, we'll end it off here. For anyone listening and watching, thank you so much for taking the time. Olsoweir, thank you for honestly just spending time here, answering questions, jumping into different discussions with me. It really means a lot. You know, just hearing from your perspective and from your side. Yeah, everyone. Yeah, you know, just make sure share this video with everyone else. And just to put out a disclaimer, I'll also have a disclaimer in the beginning of the video and in the description below. But this video that you're listening and watching to is not a part of any creator's bounty. There's nothing attached to this right now. I'm not submitting this video, so whatever amount of views or likes or whatever happens with this video, it does not influence anything coming from any of the creator bounties that exist currently. So I just wanted to put that peace of mind for anyone curious. But also, I hope you consider coming on again in a future podcast episode. And who knows, everyone listening, maybe we'll get Maccabee to come on board as well. So hit that like, follow, subscribe to all the good stuff. And as always, we'll see you next time, everyone. Take care.
Thanks very much. Cheers.